Hello, welcome to Kuddle Muddle. I'm Avnaja, and today I thought of reviewing a book for you. It's been a long time since I reviewed one, so I thought, why not do it today? So, without further ado, let us open the doors to our magnificent world and dive right in. The book that I'm going to review for you today is called The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. The name J.K. Rowling rings a bell, doesn't it? Well, yes, she is the same J.K. Rowling who wrote our favorite Harry Potter series. But The Casual Vacancy is nothing at all like Harry Potter. So, this is an adult contemporary novel by J.K. Rowling which can be classified into the tragi-comedy genre. Now, before reading this, I'd ask all of you to keep in mind that this is an adult novel and you should not compare it with Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a different novel. This is a completely different novel, and Rowling has tried her level best to crack out of the shell of young adult novels. And this was a good attempt on her part. So, before reading this, take it out of your mind that this was written by the author of Harry Potter and stop trying to find any similarities here. Okay? Now, let us begin the review. So, in a small town in UK, when a member of the town council suddenly dies, what happens? A lot of small town politics and drama comes into play. Let's see what happens in Packford and what does J.K. Rowling has to say about it. So, I didn't really enjoy this novel because it is not the kind of novels or not the kind of stories that really pleased me. But that doesn't mean that it isn't a good one. It is not really boring, but it is kind of dark, downbeat, and semi-dystopian in my opinion. But it has got a lot of depth into it. Yes, all the characters and the story itself has got a lot of depth and discusses a lot of difficult and dark topics like abuse and self-harm in a very raw, unpretentious and nonchalant manner. So that was what I liked about the approach with which Rowling has dealt with the problems discussed in the book. Now, moving on, let me brief up the story a little. This book starts with the death of a town council member of the small town of Packford in UK, and the death of this person unfurls the story in front of the reader and gives us, the readers, a peek into the life of the people of the small town, how their lives are entwined with each other and with the death of this person, and how the death of this person affects each and every one of them in a different way, and how small town politics come into play with this one death and the series of events that follow. There's a lot of drama, a lot of small town politics, and a lot of wars being fought between the people of the city. Wars, not huge wars that can be seen on the outside, but wars that are being fought on the inside. Adolescents at war with their parents and their teachers and with the society, and wives at wars with their husbands, and families at war with each other, and most of these are mental wars, struggles, and how they deal with it, and how this one death affects all of these wars, all of these individual personal wars being fought on the inside, how all of this comes to play when a casual vacancy is created. The casual vacancy was created due to the death of the council member, so now there is a seat to be filled, and the whole story revolves around this casual vacancy. Okay. What I really liked about the book was how the absence or the death of the person was the premise of the book, and how a character who was not even in the book affects the whole story, and the whole story was created around this one empty spot on the town council. That is what I found really interesting. Another thing that I found was how each character had lot many layers to them. None of them were simply black or white. Most of the characters in this book are grey, and trust me, there are a lot of characters, and most of them have at least some character development, which I found very interesting, because very often we come across stories in which there are many characters and most of them do not get a lot of character development, which I do not like. But that was one very positive thing about this one, is that most of the characters got some development. All of them had some shades to them. None of the people were simply good or bad. Most of them were grey, just like in real life. So this is a lot like a slice of a life kind of novel, albeit in a pretty dark manner. Like, when I was reading this novel, I could picture the whole story in my mind in grey tones, solid grey tones. And that is, we can call that a pretty effective way of writing, or we can call that a pretty depressing way of writing. But I'd say that Rowling was successful in convincing me about the dark side or the grey tone of the whole story. So this one is definitely not for someone like me who doesn't like extremely slow paced stories. It took me a long time to finish this one, even though it's around 500 plus pages. Yes, if you are someone who enjoys a slow paced story, a story in which a lot of grey tones are there, a story which you can picture in grey filters, then this could be the one for you. And if you are someone who enjoys internal turmoils in characters and thin characters, you would definitely like this one. I'd give this novel a 2.5 on 5, and now I'll leave it up to you to decide if you want to read it. So that was the end of the review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have already read the novel, let me know what you felt about it in the comment section below. Like this video if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time in another video. Till then, keep smiling, keep reading, and keep exploring. Bye bye.